afternoon, my loves, my loves, my loves, my loves. Good afternoon, good afternoon. So I'll wait until people get into the chat just a little bit, and then we'll get started on this particular thing. This happened, I want to say like a week ago or something. But honestly, I just literally found out about this case, and I was just floored and taken back, and for a variety of reasons. One was his appearance. His overall appearance was one that I would not expect. Remember, we've been talking a lot this week about judging people, right? We naturally judge people, whether we want to acknowledge it or not. That's not my concern. The problem is that we all do it. We judge people. We judge people based on our personal first-time experience. We make a decision on whether we're going to like that person or not, literally from that very first impression. And this is one of those weird cases where this gentleman looks ultra normal, and just not one that we would equate to this type of crime at all. He preyed on young teenagers. He solicited them with substances and other things. These were kids that willingly did this. They're young, they're being preyed on. This older guy is promising them this, that, and the other. They say, oh, this sounds fun. Let's do this. We can have fun, right? We can have fun. Well, this guy decided to fool around with children above the age of 12, but below the age of 16. From my understanding, there may be one that might be 17. I'm a little hazy there. However, there were what started this whole entire investigation on this guy was 5 underage girls that this is one of those cases where Google helped. Google notified, from my understanding, notified law enforcement in this small community. Now, this is Kentucky. This is Debord, if I'm saying it correctly, Debord, Kentucky. It's an unincorporated community of Martin County, Kentucky. There's about 2 residents, and the median age in that community is about 35.9 years old. So not really a very older population, right? I mean, they're a fairly young, family-oriented population out there in Debord. And this was a pretty interesting fact. I don't know why it was in the information, but it was, and I thought it was pretty interesting. So what it says is that there are more men that live in the Debord area than women, 89% more. So there's a problem right there. The men outnumber the women, and you know how that works out. It's a little bit better if the women outnumber the men, but when the men outnumber the women, we have problems. We always have problems. Men are men. They're disgusting pigs at times, right? Not all men. I don't want to paint you all. I know I got some friendly guys that would never do anything wrong in my chat because you're awesome, and that's why you hang out with Bullhorn Betty. So I'm not talking about those guys, okay? I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about those guys, right? And the man, Dustin E. Newsome, is only 34 years old. So he's right there about that median age in that community. And he actually went missing in August. And a lot of his family and friends were out there on social media, very concerned about their friend and loved one missing. So he was actually a missing person. We never heard about him. And depending on, had I heard about him, he might have been on our channel as a missing person, a despicable pig on the Bullhorn Betty channel. We would have been advocating for this monster to be found because we would have been concerned about his well-being, not knowing he's a monster. So he had gone missing around August, beginning of September area. And according to the post from friends and families and social media, they were asking for his location. And then, of course, Kentucky got involved and said, hey, by October 11th, they're like, we want to know what his location is, guys. Because he was being charged with 5, like he had, it's pretty extensive. But according to the warrant issued by Johnson County in late August, Newsome was wanted after he allegedly encountered, solicited, and engaged in unlawful activity with 5 juveniles. This is what kicked this whole story off, was this story about these 5 juveniles. Now, since these five, more details have come out. Okay, and we're going to be going through all of that in just a second. So he had this unlawful activity with 5 juveniles, and he was exchanging illegal substances for nude photographs and explicit videos in various different positions and acts. And that happened from approximately April 1st to August 29th. So you're talking about a significant amount of time, 5, almost 6 months. And for those offenses, the warrants charged Newsome with 5 counts of failure to report victims of HT and engaged in organized crime. So they're actually attaching the RICO statute to this particular matter because of the exchange of photos and stuff. It's going to be very interesting, not even just the story behind this, but actually the legal strategy that the state is using to take this bad guy, this guy that preys upon young girls, impressionable young girls. And while they think it's fun, and they probably did it all by themselves, they were coerced in doing so. And they were dangled with, substances and stuff that young kids can't usually get and think are ultra cool to have. Why? We've all been there. I've done it. You've done it. Many of us have done it. There's a lot of people out there that have never, that have abstained and never gave into temptation. Well, God bless you guys, because you're a few of the stronger-willed people that walk amongst us, okay? I will just be honest. I am one of those people that talk about it, talk about my path, because if it can help somebody, I want it to help somebody. I was one of those people. I did inhale, okay? But I did not have sexual relations with that woman, okay? So this is disturbing because the Martin County man who was the subject of a search in the past months on charges of HT, engaging in organized crime, and this is where it kind of gets down to it, because when we start thinking of this and when we hear the details of this particular case, we don't really equate it to HT. We don't. But it truly is. It truly is. So even us in true crime are not looking at all of these as HT type of things. These, when they're passing around those images of someone else that did not give them permission, they are trafficking that person. It's a different kind of trafficking, but they are trafficking that person. And we're not looking at it like that. We're looking at it as a photo. No, that is a human being that's being wrongfully engaged with. So we have to look at that. I think this is absolutely appropriate. I do. I don't know how they're going to legally argue it, but I absolutely think it's illegally appropriate. So the Norton Police Chief James Lane said after confirming Newsome's identity, law enforcement took him into custody without incident. So he was captured, okay? Anytime we're contacted by the U.S. Marshal that asked, for assistance in taking a fugitive from justice into custody, we take it seriously and then respond with as many officers as possible and as quickly as we can, Lane said. A pending arrest can quickly turn hostile, and our priority is to prevent that from happening and to protect the public and keep our fellow officers safe. The chief added, the charges against the fugitive were alarming, to say the least, and I'm relieved to know he's behind bars. And this is related to, this is actually kind of near Dolly's area. It appears that this is coming out of Norton, Virginia. So it does appear that the U.S. Marshals got him potentially in Virginia. The chief added that, Newsome had disappeared around September 1st after becoming aware that the Kentucky State Police Post 9 had obtained a warrant for his arrest. Charges in the arrest warrant included 5 counts of failure to report victims of HT, a Class B felony, charges of engaging in organized crime, possession of child, photographs, and other related charges. The warrant stated that Newsome allegedly encountered, elicited, and engaged unlawful activity with 5 juveniles and traded substances for those photos and videos of the juveniles engaged in multiple different type of acts. Newsome's family and friends reported him missing on social media around the 1st of September, and on September 8th, the Kentucky State Police publicly acknowledged he had a felony warrant for his arrest. Here's more information on this, and you can see I've cut. That's what I had already explained coming into this particular live. A second warrant was issued. This is where it gets ultra disturbing, guys, okay? Because as I just told you, the 5 girls, the 5 juveniles that he was engaged in with these photos, videos, and he was trading the substances for, well, that was just the tip of the iceberg with this particular case. It was just the tip of the iceberg. It gets even more disturbing as the investigation starts heating up related to Newsome. So a second warrant, now he was already charged for the 5. Now he has a second warrant. That second warrant came October 19th. So the second warrant was issued on October 19th, which stated that in addition to the other pending charges, an investigation of Newsome's activities and electronic usage allegedly showed that he had committed at least one act of the S word, the backside word, on a juvenile. So this is going beyond just taking photos and videos, where he's actually engaging, and it's really disturbing. I'm going to be very careful on how I do this. You're going to have to read between the lines with some of the stuff that I'm speaking about, because again, I've got to be cognizant of the rules for this platform. And one of the things is that we have to be very cognizant of how graphic we get. So you're going to have to read between the lines and kind of put this stuff together for yourself. Now, you can go and research this person's name and read all about it and get all the details that aren't kind of butchered up on this show. If you'd like to, you're more than welcome to. There's a plethora of information out there related to this particular case. So, he did the S word on the backside, and that in his Snapchat account contained 8 photos and 1 video of the child photography, which included boys between the age of 13 and 16. So those were also, he had distributed those 5 times. A second warrant included charges of second degree S, backside, 9 counts of possession of manners to portray S performance by minors more than 12 years of age, 5 counts of distribution of matters portraying this performance of this minor under 12. And Newsome was arrested on October 16th at the law and is lodged at Big Shady. Sounds really nice, and it shouldn't sound really nice. Big Sandy Regional Detention Center, being served with the first warrant then and served with the second warrant on the 19th. A preliminary hearing actually is going on today. I'm assuming that it's already happened, but that's an assumption that I can't confirm or deny. I don't know. I tried to look for it and I can't find it. I'm sure I'm just not looking for it in the right spots. This is what he looks like, guys. I mean, he looks, if you met him on the road, if you just met him, he looks ultra normal. And this is what I'm trying to say. What does crazy look like? Right? That's subjective. What does crazy look like? What does a monster look like? What does a monster that preys on our boys and girls look like? It looks like this. This is the stranger danger monster. This is the monster under our teenage girls' beds right here, and our teenage boys' beds. This is that monster. That's what he looks like. That's what monsters look like, folks. The neighbor next door. That's scary to me. I literally have this entire, I could literally go through here and show you all of the disturbing stuff. Actually, you know what? Let's do it. I'm not going to go through it. I'm not going to take a whole bunch of your time today because we've already had one live. This one is disturbing for me. So let me see if it works this way. Let me see if I can get it this way. Does it show you the top? It does show you the top. Look at this. Look at all this stuff up here. Look at all this stuff up here. This is just cases after cases. More information on him. Got all this stuff up here. We got just a little bit about Alec Murdaugh that I was looking into. I'm looking into a law enforcement in Tampa searching a house for a body. And listen to this. There was a grisly murder there in the 1930s as well. So there's been two murders in there decades apart from each other. It's a house that probably needs to be torn down, but hey, I did a little bit on an investigative genetic genealogy testing of a woman that was unidentified for 41 years from Davie, Florida. This is another person. This came out. These two came out within 30 minutes of each other. So I know our Florida Department, the FDLE, the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, is really trying very hard to get these cold cases resolved with the efforts of investigative genetic genealogy and the building of the family trees. And so a woman after 41 years was found, and now we have this woman that now has been also identified. And this was a mystery that identified a woman that was found in a dumpster in 1988, has finally been solved with genealogy technology, according to authorities. Chung Un Kim from Hinesville, Georgia, died at the age of 26, according to the press release by GBI. On April 14th, 1988, and I got to say the other one was from February 18th, which I believe she was visiting Davies because she was the first one that I did was a Boston Mafia or Boston crime family wife that ended up being found in a canal in Davie, Florida. Well, that was on February 18th. This is on February 14th. And a lot of these things just seem really odd because it's on Valentine's Day, which just give me a hint of who may be responsible. The GPI received requests from Jenkins County Sheriff's Office to assist in the death investigation. Per the release, the victim was wrapped in a plastic and duct tape and found inside a large nylon suitcase and had been placed in the dumpster in Millen, Georgia, in Jenkins County. So again, we had the one from Florida. This is one from Georgia. These are all kind of coming in from the same time frame, I'm noticing. So it's pretty interesting. But this stuff goes on. It never ends. It never ends. One dead, deputy injured after shooting at Douglas County home. This is, again, just a lot of chaos erupting throughout our country. A man accused of fatally shooting a woman in Gilbert under arrest. Police say this is all today. This is all today. I could literally have a 10-hour live stream and still not cover all of the crime that is going on in this country. A lady ends up kidnapping her kids from foster care and taking them halfway across the country. Another story. It never stops. It never stops. So, a lot of people wonder what I do here all day when you guys don't see me. Well, this is it. I read through all of this garbage, all of this disgustingness. I mean, just disgustingness. One right after the other, just disgustingness. Absolutely disgustingness. Can't even talk about half the crap that I read online from these cases because they are just that horrible. Just that horrible. Of people just doing rotten things to people that they love all day, every day, never stops. Disgusting, disgusting, disgusting. Our world needs Jesus. Our world needs Jesus. That's what our world needs. Just disgusting. I read this crap all day long. You know, people keep saying that I pick and choose the cases. No, I don't pick and choose the cases, but some of these cases are just too damn graphic to talk about. They're just too graphic to talk about all day. Never stops. Never stops. And I haven't even gotten to this half of my stuff. This is stuff that I research. And remember when I tell you I use keywords and stuff like that to find stories and information? I do that several times a day. This is how many cases come up. This is not even, I haven't even scratched the surface. And I can check all day long, every single day, every 15 to 20 minutes on my keyword searches, and I get a new news broadcast again all day, every day. This is stuff. It's getting scary out there, yo. It's just getting scary out there. I don't know what else to say than that. But let me see what else I've got. I know there's more information on this. Got him. I think that's about it. That's about it on the guy. And I just wanted to show you all the nastiness that goes on across this country every day. Did you see all those S crimes against our kids? Did you see all that? Every single day, all day long. New story, same thing, different names, all day long. It's just, it's rough. But guys, I hope I drove at least something home, if nothing more, what a true monster looks like. You know what a true monster looks like? He looks like us. She looks like us. They look normal. They act normal. They have families. They have kids. They make us want to think that they're living on top of the world, and we want their life. Careful what you wish for. Sometimes that grass on the other side of the fence appears green until you get over there. And then you see it's all infected with insects and starting to wilt and dry and go away. And you're looking at your lawn and you're thinking, it's not as green, but it sure looks better than this. Sometimes that grass on the other side of that fence is an illusion. Keep your kids close, and then keep your kids closer. This world's becoming crazy. Even the people that we think look normal, act normal, look genuine, there's some messed up people out there, and they prey upon us. And remember, we didn't even have really a whole lot of time to invest in the language of letting go this morning. But if you were here for the morning session, we go over this book. And it was kind of funny because the passage was pretty interesting. But because we had so much going on, since we had so much going on, we didn't have really the opportunity to dive into what the message really said or really meant. And it was talking about how we sometimes allow people to play magic upon us and an illusion, and we fall in for these illusions and fall for these tricks. And we need to start identifying these tricks. So here's what it says for all those people that are here that would like to see it, because we didn't get a chance. And I think it really dovetails right into this case unbeknownst to me when I read it this morning. But even the best of us get tricked from time to time. Someone comes along and impresses us with magic. Later we discover it wasn't magic, just an illusion. Sometimes the issue isn't that people were trying to trick us. We tricked ourselves. We saw what we wanted to see regardless of what reality was. Then when reality started to creep in, we told ourselves if we held our breath and didn't feel our feeling and hoped long and hard enough, reality would change. We don't have to get mad at ourselves when we get tricked, even if we fooled ourselves. We need to see it, acknowledge the truth, and become aware of what reality is. Don't let your embarrassment over finding yourself in a bad situation cloud your view of yourself. And it goes on, but I think we need to start really trusting our gut, especially in light. Could this guy have fooled everybody? He probably could. He was probably that young, fun-loving guy that everybody wanted to be around, the real charismatic guy that just draw people in no matter where he went. People recognized it. People knew him. Very personal and personable, right? So I truly think that is the situation. But guys, you have to pay attention. They can look innocent. They can look like our children. They can look like our grandsons. They can look like our best friends. They can put on a lot of different masks, guys. So be careful and keep your children close and know what your teenagers are doing. This is a situation where he was able to get with these young girls, manipulate them, show them that it's fun to party. So now he's getting your kids addicted on crap that they don't need to be addicted on, so he can do terrible things to them. This is happening all over the country. This is not unique to this Dustin Newsome. But gosh darn it, I'm glad he's off the streets. I'm glad he's arrested. And the crimes that he has committed are atrocious. I will leave it at that. Guys, take care. We'll see you next time. I am pushing out some videos, but I figured it'd be easier just for me to come up here. This would have been a monster of a video to try to create to explain all this stuff. So I'm glad you guys got an opportunity to see me live 2 days in a row for 2 shows. I don't know what's going on with me. I must be sick. I must be sick. All right, guys. We're done. Have a great day, guys. Don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And until next time, please be safe and kind to one another, especially in the comment box below. You never know what day someone is having. What you say to somebody could really be impactful to their day and into their future. Be kind to one another.